Justin Baldoni's lawyer isn't just presenting evidence in the case against Blake Lively, he's uncovering something far deeper. Rumors have surfaced suggesting that Ryan Reynolds might have played a quiet but powerful role in protecting Blake, alongside a few names so surprising, you'd never believe them. Sources claim Ryan's behavior on set revealed flashes of arrogance towards colleagues, crew, and even collaborators. And soon, the internet was flooded with clips and posts exposing his temper and questionable moments behind the scenes. The reaction was immediate. People began to change their opinions the very moment Blake's allegations against Justin Baldoni came to light. Then came the New York Times, publishing a detailed piece about Justin, alleging that he tried to sabotage Blake's reputation after she accused him of misconduct on set. The report suggested that Justin had even paid for a small media campaign, spreading misleading screenshots of private messages now believed to have been heavily taken out of context. Still, the story didn't end there. More evidence began to surface, evidence that might suggest the truth isn't exactly what the Times claimed. And now, with the controversy widening, all eyes have turned toward Ryan Reynolds, whose name might be more deeply tied to Justin Baldoni's legal troubles than anyone realized. At the center of it all, the accusations that began on set are far from over. Meanwhile, the chaos has spilled over into Hollywood's biggest release of 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine. One of the year's most anticipated films is making headlines again, but this time one of the film's main characters, Nicepool, played by Ryan himself, has sparked speculation online. Many believe he's a thinly veiled parody of Justin Baldoni, from his exaggerated confidence to the overly polished image of masculinity that mirrors Justin's public persona. The timing only fueled the rumors. Just months earlier, Justin had shaved his head to raise funds for children battling medical conditions that caused hair loss, a gesture that was once praised, but now finds itself tangled in uncomfortable comparisons. And Nicepool doesn't make things any easier. His dialogue, full of sharp jokes and subtle jabs, feels uncomfortably personal. At one point, the character even makes comments about Ladypool, a role played by Blake Lively herself, his real-life wife. He jokes about her beauty, her body, and, ultimately, her becoming a mother, storylines that seem to echo Blake's real life in 2023, when she gave birth around the same time the movie was filmed. All of it feels too coincidental. Because Deadpool was being shot during the height of Blake's dispute with Justin, and some scenes, reportedly, were filmed just meters away from the trailer where Justin was staying with his then-wife. What makes it even more fascinating is that Deadpool later includes a scene where Nicepool is scolded for commenting on Ladypool's body, a moment that many saw as a reflection of how Justin himself had been portrayed in the media. Some fans praised it as clever and feminist. Others said it crossed a line, turning real-life pain into comedy. Either way, the debate reignited. Because somehow, both Deadpool and Nicepool became part of the same ongoing conversation, the one that started with Blake, Justin, and what really happened on set. Inside Nicepool, things got even more complicated. As the story unfolded, new allegations surfaced from Blake, claiming that an intimacy coordinator had been brought onto set to make her feel comfortable during sensitive scenes. But soon after, reports began suggesting that those claims might have been exaggerated or even manipulated to shape the narrative. According to messages later reviewed by investigators, Justin hadn't objected to having an intimacy coordinator at all. In fact, one was already present, St. Priest, a professional known in Hollywood for his strict protocols. However, Blake allegedly refused his assistance, choosing instead to work directly under Ryan's supervision, a decision that many on set found unusual. From there, the situation spiraled. Ryan began turning the topic into subtle jokes in Deadpool, blending feminist commentary with satirical shots seemingly aimed at Justin. In one scene, Nicepool even mocks the idea of an intimacy coordinator, a move critics saw as a jab at Blake's own public statements. But that wasn't all. Soon after, Justin launched a podcast supporting women's empowerment, something he had long been known for, and this made the parody sting even more. To his supporters, Ryan's humor wasn't just satire, it was a direct attack on Justin's character and values. Writers close to the project defended the film, saying it was simply comedy, nothing personal. But those who knew the real tension between the two couples saw something else entirely. As the production continued, the parallels became impossible to ignore. Blake and Ryan's jokes in Deadpool mirrored real-life arguments and legal disputes between Blake and Justin. Even the tone of certain scenes, playful on the surface, carried a sharp undercurrent of resentment. One insider described an intense moment off-camera. Justin reportedly confronted Ryan after a scene he found disrespectful, leading to a heated exchange. Witnesses say Ryan physically pulled Justin aside and demanded he never again criticize Blake, especially about her appearance. Justin later apologized, assuring Ryan that he meant no harm, and the two agreed to move on, at least publicly. But the tension didn't fade. It grew. And what happened next only made things worse. Months later, another conflict arose between the men, one that insiders say involved a private matter between Blake and Justin that Ryan allegedly found unforgivable. What exactly happened remains unclear, but whatever it was, it changed everything. Still, Ryan continued to make subtle references through his work, turning real-life controversies into punchlines. And Justin's lawyer, Brian Friedman, has made it clear those nice pool jokes may become key evidence in the upcoming case. He argues that Ryan's on-screen remarks weren't harmless, they were deliberate attempts to humiliate his client. In his words, "Our client isn't laughing. He's not mocking anyone. He's taking this situation seriously, and we intend to prove that in court." And perhaps the strangest part? The movie's release dates lined up almost perfectly with the way she ends, Justin's own film. Both projects, released just 2 weeks apart in mid-2024, seemed to mirror each other, as if the two couples were waging their own cinematic war. Blake reportedly took on full creative control, not only starring, but editing, styling, and even selecting the music herself. She supervised nearly every aspect of the project, ensuring nothing could be changed without her approval. Some insiders believe she pushed the release date strategically, to overshadow Justin's film completely. And by the time the drama spilled onto the set, the relationship between the two camps had collapsed entirely. Sources claim Justin was quietly excluded from press tours and group interviews. He was even asked to film promotional segments separately, far from Blake and Ryan's circle. By the end, the divide was undeniable. Most of the cast unfollowed Justin on social media. Crew members refused to comment publicly. And yet, behind the silence, something darker seemed to be unfolding. Because as all of this comes back to light, and as Ryan's mocking tone in Deadpool resurfaces, it's becoming painfully clear just how far they were willing to go to turn their private lives into public entertainment. Thanks for watching.